Now to a story you'll see only here on 4. It stunned the world. In 1981, the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, was shot in an assassination attempt.
A short time later, the country learned the gunman was John Hinckley Jr. of Evergreen, Colorado. Hinckley is finally a free man. CBS 4's Rick Salinger traveled to Virginia to speak with him. And what'd you learn?
Well, Jim and Karen, you remember he was found not guilty by reason of insanity, and he spent several decades in a mental facility. But now he's been released from all court supervision. We spoke about his time here in Colorado, his actions 41 years ago, a dark part of American history.
March 30th, 1981, the President, Ronald Reagan, the gunman in the crowd, John Hinckley Jr.
I went to the hotel and waited till he came out.
No problems with security?
No.
The investigation quickly turned to the Hinckley family home in Evergreen. His parents had kicked him out on the advice of a psychiatrist. Articles about assassinations were discovered inside.
But it was a time when I was kind of getting more and more depressed. So there were some good times in Colorado, but a lot of it was my depression and sliding, into a deeper and deeper illness.
He was on Valium at the time. He had purchased one of his guns in Lakewood and was working nearby.
I had a job across the street from my apartment at a place called Taylor's Supper Club. I don't know if it's still there anymore, but...
He would later take up residence at the Golden Hours Motel on West Colfax in Lakewood until just a few days before the assassination attempt. He flew to Los Angeles for one night, decided against trying to restart his music career, then took a cross-country bus trip to Washington, D.C.
Is that when you decided you would try to kill the president?
Yes.
With the assassination plot growing in his mind, Hinckley made failed attempts to get the romantic attention of actress Jodie Foster. He then carried out an act she could not ignore. A bullet nearly struck the president's heart. His press secretary, James Brady, was left permanently disabled. He later became a major advocate for gun control.
How do you feel about that issue?
I think there's too many guns in America. I think assault weapons should be banned.
That's interesting, coming from someone who tried to assassinate the president.
Right.
What led you to that belief?
Just watching the news, and the country is just out of control right now with all this violence, and there's just too many guns.
Hinckley had words for those whose lives he had impacted.
To the Reagan family, the Brady family, the families of the other two victims, to Jodie Foster, that I'm sorry for what I did. I truly am. I wish I hadn't done it. If I could take it back, I would. So I would just say to them, I'm very sorry for what I did.
We have much more from our interview with Hinckley on our website, our streaming channel, CBS News Colorado. And tonight at 10, we talk with him about being found not guilty and his recovery from mental illness.
All right, Rick Salinger, thanks for that, Rick.